Welcome to Carpool Conversations. We're driving along the Stuart Highway looking for a legendary Australian musician-songwriter, John Schumann. Currently the frontman for John Schumann and the Vagabond Crew, and the former frontman of Red Gum. Hang on, here he is. How about that?
G'day mate, thanks for stopping.
No worries at all. How are you, John?
Not bad.
You ready for a drive?
Absolutely.
Let's do it. This thing goes like a cut snake.
Great. Let's see what I can do.
So, what brings you to Alice Springs?
Well, I've been up here for the last couple of days with a cinematographer doing vision and stills for the vehicle that Rural and Remote Mental Health is contributing to the Are You OK convoys. Just sensational. I mean, what a joy to be out here at this time of the year. It's beautiful country.
Well, you've certainly got a passion now for rural and remote mental health. What do you think we need to do in the bush to better support each other?
I think the main thing is understanding. You know, I think even these days, after all the great work that's been done by Beyond Blue, Are You OK, and other organisations, there is still a stigma that's attached to mental health, and I think we need to break that down. And we break that down, I think, with understanding. I mean, you guys start the conversation, which is absolutely sensational, because that's step one. The programs that Rural and Remote Mental Health have got actually follow on from that. So there's education, awareness, understanding, and pathways to help. So it's a perfect partnership. We've got programs for Indigenous Australia, for Agricultural Australia, and for the resources and remote construction sector. So it's just a great opportunity to be able to go around to those very places and say, we're with Are You OK? And this is what we've got. This is how we pick up the ball.
And a good way to show everyone that we're all in this together.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. It's been quite a few years since you wrote. I was only 19, and I think it was 1983 that it was in the Australian charts. I was 6 at the time. I hope that doesn't make you feel too old.
Great, thanks, Brendan. I feel terrific about that.
But, you put a stake in the ground there, I guess, really, in terms of, highlighting what our vets faced during that time, and looking after our vets and the well-being of our vets is something that you're quite passionate about.
Yeah, it was interesting. When I wrote I was only 19, I was just telling the story of my brother-in-law who served in 6 RAR. It was pretty tough for him, and a lot of that stuff that I wrote about, the nightmares and the rashes and all that sort of stuff, I mean, that was on his landscape, but he was very functional. He was one of the lucky ones. But in telling the story, and quite sort of unconsciously, I put post-traumatic stress disorder on the map, just by virtue of a number of simple rhyming observations about how he was when he came home and how his mates were. And it was kind of interesting. I think that song did a whole range of things on reflection, but it did put post-traumatic stress disorder back into the national conversation.
Well, it did. It started a conversation. So how did you get involved in the mental health space?
Well, about 2008, 2009, I was driving to Renmark in South Australia to do a gig, and I got a call from a major in the Army, Major Margaret Goodman, a psychologist, who wanted to know whether I would help her put together a suite of materials to talk to the young diggers pre and post deployment about post-traumatic stress disorder. She said to me, look, I figured that the guy who wrote I Was Only 19 would be able to talk about this stuff much more persuasively than an army psychologist. And we cooked up the idea of doing a video, which we did call Dents in the Soul. And I really just talked about mental health, particularly post-traumatic stress disorder, and tried to tell the young diggers that, look, a psychological injury is as honourable an injury as a bullet wound, and it was really important that they put their hands up very quickly, because the sooner you put your hand up, the sooner you can get fixed, the sooner you can get back to doing what they want to do, which is be soldiers.
Well, on that note, I think this would be a really good spot to drop you off, because you probably won't have any trouble getting another lift from here. It's nice and open.
Yeah, but I'm really comfortable in this car. Why can't I stay in this car?
Well, that wasn't part of the deal.
Okay.
Look, genuinely, to have someone with your profile and your credibility pushing this message around, positive mental health and well-being, particularly in rural and remote Australia, is a great thing. You're a good man.
Thanks, Brendan. Listen, my message is, we have to talk about this stuff, because if we don't talk about it, silence is all we'll hear.
Yep.
And on that note, I'll just get out with my thumb. Shall I?
See you,
if I
mate.
can get to Darwin. See ya.
Take it easy.